Hi guys, and welcome back to another model railway review. I know this is a bit unusual way to start my reviews because I usually just show the model box to start with, but I thought I would just tag this little disclaimer in that before anyone starts, jumping in the comments or anything like that. The model that you are about to see is faulty, so I'll just put that out there. It's something that happens. It's a little bit of a disappointment, but I thought I would go ahead. But first, I wasn't going to post this video. I was going to wait till the new model returned because I didn't want to start bashing a relatively new company into the 00 gauge market. And this video by no means is any bashing at all, but a lot of people have sort of commented on various posts that I put out and said that they'd prefer me to put the video out and then do an updated video, so that is what I'm going to do. So I thought I'd just start this off. The model is faulty, so in terms of performance or anything, I will grade it as such, but obviously just bear in mind it is a faulty model and has gone back for a replacement. So yeah, on to the review. Hello and welcome back to another Yorkshire Railways model railway review. Today we're going to be trying a manufacturer which I have never actually tried anything of before, and it's a relatively new model on the market as well, which is the Cavalex Class 60. So I'll just fit that in because the box is quite humongous. But yes, as you can see, I've just got the DC ready version. And if you want to get one for yourself, it is number 60029 DC rail. And well, I'll say this actually, you can't get these unless you're on the second-hand market, because this is a Key Publishing exclusive. And I have in this handy little white envelope here my certificate of authenticity. So there you can see, limited edition Cavalex models, 00 gauge Class 60, number 60029, Ben Nevis in DC Rail Grey. And mine is number 46 of 306. That's quite nice. Yeah, I'll keep hold of that. But yeah, in terms of box art, I can honestly say I really like this colour scheme. It certainly stands out a lot more from previous models on the market. Obviously, you've got Hornby, which tend to go for the red with the yellow, and they have the box art on the front. Obviously, they've opted more to go for the shoebox style packaging with later models, but you kind of used to the sleeve. Then you've got a Cura scale, which tend to go for more of a grey with the sort of model in the lined, similar to this basically, but it's just grey with the yellow writing rather than yellow with the grey writing, except for their limited editions, which they do sort of personalised boxes, which I quite like that. And obviously, yeah, you've got Bachmann, which is the Bachmann blue with the window in it, and then Dapol tends to be blue with a sort of white line drawing. So yeah, it's very nice to sort of have something a little bit different. I do like it. I mean, one thing I'll say is I'm looking forward. I haven't actually opened this yet. I've literally ran in, I got the box from the postman, and I've come straight out here to film this because I'm so excited. But yeah, the box is really heavy, so I'm looking forward to getting this open. But in terms of the rest of the box, yeah, you obviously got Cavalex Class 60 on there, and on this side, just sort of, yeah, a little bit of nothing. So the front is mainly, but it's a lovely lined drawing of the Class 60. Certainly if this is anything to go what the model's going to look like, it looks absolutely fantastic. And yeah, well, as you can see, Class 60 locomotive, Super 60, minimum radius 438, which I believe is second radius. I can never remember when it's in millimetre. But yeah, so let's slide the box open. It's a very nice feeling box, I will say that. I know that sounds a bit strange, but it's got a real good feel to it. And then we've got the general information and driving instructions. Wow, this is yeah, really nice. So yeah, picture, introduction, gives you a little bit of introduction of the model. Let's have a look. Just have a quick flick through. Yeah, we've got history, general information. That's really nice to see. You've got lots of obviously photographic work in here. That's a fantastic shot, that, the DB Cargo one. And then, yeah, a little bit of the actual drawing side of things. Obviously, these are the models that they offer. So here is the full range of Cavalex Class 60s. And then over here, you have the exclusives. So as you can see, this is the one I have gone for, the Key Publishing one. We've got Rails of Sheffield, have quite a few. I know the Steel on Steel was a popular choice that everyone thought I'd gone for. It was a toss-up because I ordered this one before I saw this one, and yeah, I decided to go with it. I like the name Ben Nevis. It sounds very, I don't know, I don't want to say the word manly, but I don't know, it just sounds very powerful. Then we've got the fitting the alternate buffer beams. This is a feature I'm really excited to see, that they have the magnetic buffer beams. Yeah, so it shows you how they're, so you essentially just pull them off and you can reattach the one with the coupling. So yeah, that's quite nice. Body removal, secure clips on the body shell. That's not too bad. Wish it was screws, but you know, diesel models like this are quite easy to get open. But also if you're fitting a DC decoder, as you can see there, we've got the panel above the sort of exhaust system there, and that's where the DC decoder will fit in, which I've been told, I did message Cavalex on Instagram, and if you're like me, for instance, I got the DCC ready version, and obviously now I have a DCC controller. So I did ask them, I said, like, you know, I've heard the sound files and everything, are there going to be a option available? And they did say yes, at a later date they will be releasing those as well, so you will be able to get the proper sound files eventually. But they couldn't give me a price on that at the moment, but they said it'd be similar to the Class 56 more than likely. Sound upgrade, removable roof panel. It is very straightforward process to become DCC ready. Yep, brilliant. So I'm not sure if it comes with a speaker or not, but be nice if it did. Yep, sound upgrade kit. So yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't come with a speaker pre-fitted. Okay. By the sounds of it, anyway, I'll certainly try and have a look at that. Fitting a driver and a second man. Okay. Oh, so the seats are removable, so that's quite nice. That'll make it very easy to fitting a crew, as you can see there. So yeah, that's a really nice feature. I know sometimes some people do find it pretty difficult. Fitting the blinds to the cab, so I presume that's something in the detail. I know this is taking a while, but there's a lot of features to go on. And then yeah, we've got the DCC functions there. That's great to see. A little bit more about the actual functions. Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, and then they've got future releases of the Class 56 as well at the end. So obviously that's quite nice. A little tag on to what's to come from the future. So yeah, I'll put that in the box. I believe this is just a little cheat sheet. Yep, of the DCC functions. Doesn't count for me. And then operational manual. Don't really know what that's for, to be honest. I think this is just for, essentially you can put the number down and you'll have it for some purpose. I've no idea. Anyway, onto the model. So we're already nearly 10 minutes into this and I haven't actually seen it. These look like they've come out of their sprues in transit, but that's not a problem. But don't know if you can see that. We've got etched metal nameplates that say Ben Nevis on it. That's a really, really nice premium feature. Oh, drum roll, right. So yeah, really, really nice packaging. Oh, wow. I know you guys can't see it yet, but I think I might keep you going a little bit longer because we've got a few accessory bags. So here we've got the couplings. So it looks like the couplings aren't pre-fitted to the model, and I presume they are the blinds as well that they mentioned. So yeah, that'll be great to see. And then there's some little circular pieces, not really sure what they're for. Actually, I think I might know, but I'll get to that in a second. I think that is the plugs, because it's screwed down, which I'll show you. And then yeah, I'll not show you both of these, but there's the alternate buffer beam. So it's got the hole cut out for the coupling, and it looks like both of those are the same. So yes, it comes pre-fitted with the full detail package already on it. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Look at that. I'm not just saying this because I've been looking forward to it for such a long time, but honestly, that is so visually stunning. And granted, yeah, obviously it's just a grey locomotive, but I can already see the detail on this, so we will get to that later on. But yeah, let's firstly talk about the package, because I've never had a Cavalex model. So most manufacturers opt for the clamshell method, where essentially you'll have the model is sat in like a plastic casing that goes all the way around the locomotive, and that will cushion it. But sometimes, yeah, some of the more delicate locomotives, especially with a lot of separately fitted pieces, get rattled around even in there. So this is actually screwed down. So I'll try and slide it out of the packaging and try and not drop it on the floor as well. Holy moly, that's a heavy beast. Right, so yeah, if I hold this up this way, you can see there is 2 screws, and that is holding the model in place. So the model physically can't move around. So I think Cavalex like this cradle method, and obviously this is really thick, sturdy plastic. You know, there is no movement at all there, so you can definitely be sure that this model isn't moving. The only worry for me is with this is obviously it is very chunky foam that's in the packaging. There isn't much in terms of movement, whereas the box can move. So yeah, but I can only speak for it in terms of my personal model here. It's arrived undamaged. So yeah, all the horns are intact on top. Everything's intact. So yeah, it obviously does work, but certainly it's a little bit of a weary thing. But yeah, if it works for them, it works for them. So yeah, I can only applaud Cavalex models for that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my screwdriver and I'm going to unscrew it, and we'll take a closer look at the detail as we go. This video might go on for a little while, so you know, I don't feel free to skip to parts, but yeah, we'll have a bit of a closer look at all the detail underneath it. Okay, so first things first, where do we start here? I think we're going to start with the underframe, which I'm trying to hold this in a way that I don't block it but also damage it. So yeah, if we have a look under the underframe, sorry, I've just kicked the camera with my foot. But yeah, I mean, looking at the detail underneath on this bogie frame here, there is so much intricate detail. I mean, obviously we've got the painted ladders here, but behind that, I mean, I don't know if the camera can like pick it up all too well as it looks in person, but you've got all these really thin wires and pipe work. It's just absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if these are like sandboxes. As I say, I'm not all too up on like prototypes. I sort of just buy models because I like the look of them. So, you know, do correct me in the comments down below if I say something that is out of turn. But yeah, all this sort of white and orange detail that is on the bogie frame certainly does make everything stand out, even if it's in the moulding. Say, for instance, the suspension springs here, that it just makes everything pop so nicely. Obviously, moving up to the cab, we've got these door panels here. Yeah, so separately fitted handles. Sorry, handrails, should I say, handrails on the door. So that's great to see. This is an interesting fact I do know about the Class 60, is that if we look at the window on this side, so this is the driver's side window, and then if I quickly move over to this one, you'll notice it's different. And that is because it's prototypical, that when it was built, I think there was something to do with visibility, so they essentially made a new window for it and retrofitted it. And I believe that's the same if I flip it around the other side. Yep, there you go. So this is the other side window, so that is that same. And then of course, it's like that on the other side. So that's just a great little bit attention to detail that is on the model itself. Obviously looking at the paint job, you know, I did think at first when I purchased this, I was like, oh, I have gone for a little bit of a boring colour scheme, you could say. You know, it's just a big grey locomotive, but you know, looking at it in person, it's not. It's so much more complex than that. Definitely stands out in my collection as such, because it is the only, well, it's not the only pure grey actually. I've got an old rail freight class 58 from Hornby, but this is a really stunning paint job. It's so crisp because you go up to the top here and you can see that thin orange band across the top, which is just really nicely well done. It's not bled onto the black of the roof. That's great. And then we've got the yellow ends, which also haven't bled either. So that is great to see. Obviously we have the number painted here, so 60029. We've got a little panel down here. I don't think I can read that, especially not without my glasses, but certainly it might be more legible on the camera. Then we've got this little logo here, stay safe. Yep, so that's great to see. Obviously moving down, we've got DC Rail Freight. That's really nice and crisp. Yep, I love that. These little warning panels at the top. If I move my hands there out of the way because we're in the middle, I believe this is the fuel tank. And yeah, just having a look at all these sort of separately picked out parts here. We've got warning panels and gauges that have been picked out. I think this is the air compressor. I'm not entirely sure, but that is really well detailed. I mean, look at that. Such incredible moulding on that part there. And then we've got some more warning panels down here. They adorn the bottom of the locomotive. It's incredible. And then we get further down back to these incredible bogies as well. Absolutely, yeah, I'm shocked for words at the minute. It's trying to get it out in terms of my amazement, but yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I have actually seen this in person at Key Model World Live and the Great Electric Train Show, but I haven't held one. Every time I went, the stand was a bit busy and I sort of got a bit nervous to ask, can I pick one up please? But yeah, I'm going to try and be a little bit more bold this year, and if you don't ask, you don't get. Another good feature, well, I say good feature, but a cool feature, should I say, of the Class 60 is if we look at the grills here. So this is the engine room here. So this grill is really fine, nicely applied, but obviously you look all the way through and you can see my fingers at the other side. So you can see right through the locomotive, which is just incredible. So we'll move to the front of the locomotive now. So yeah, looking at that, if I can hold it still enough, I might switch to my other hand, there we go. So yeah, looking at that, that is absolutely stunning. So obviously you can see we've got DC Rail Freight, the number on the front, this separately fitted grab rail here. We've got a lamp bracket, obviously got the lights, we've got a realistic chain coupling, which does pivot, but it's because I've held it upside down. It seems to just be a little bit stuck. I'm worried about damaging it, but pulling it too tight. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that alone. I love the buffers. This sort of white lining around the buffers is great. And just for any of the sprung buffers fans, they are sprung. So yeah, nice little feature. It's nice to have it. I don't know if you can see inside the cab because it is a little bit dark, but I will try and take the locomotive apart and have a look inside there, because I know that, yeah, it's a fantastic cab to look in. I've seen some pictures. Then we've got the horns on the top. They are stunning. I'm not sure, to me, have a look, see what you think. But to me, one of them does look a little bit on the wonky side. Doesn't feel loose at all. I'll have to double check the other side. It might be supposed to be like that. So if it's the same on the other side, which it is, I presume it's meant to be like that. So we'll say no more about it. Moving on to the roof. As you can see, we've got the this lovely patterning on the roof. I mean, granted it's black, it's made of plastic and everything like that, but the paneling, the molding on this is absolutely incredible. So we've got these roof vents here that go to sort of these slotted vents on this bit. We've got the paneling, absolutely fantastic, and then obviously we move down to the exhaust port here, which is absolutely great. It just adds so much detail. Like it catches the light really nicely and just looks a quality model. I've already sort of like flipped it up underneath. So I know one feature I'm eagerly wanting to see is that the center axle isn't driven, so I can move that all the way around, and it sort of can sort of move up and down a little bit. So that's supposed to basically make it a lot better to run on uneven track. Anyone that's got helixes or anything like that has to go up and downhill, just makes it a little bit more of a reliable runner with these Coco locomotives. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So yes, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and figure out where the panel is to open the DCC slot. We'll take a look at that, and then I will try and take the body off to show you that cab as well, so bear with me. Okay, so we've got both functions available here for you to see. I've just taken the body off because, as you can see, here are the 6 magnets, and here is the roof panel. Now, I found this quite incredibly hard to get off, and I will just show you that the magnets on here are quite incredibly strong. And yeah, I sort of just pulled that off then, but at my first time of doing it, I've never had a locomotive with this feature, and it was quite hard. You know, you've seen I've had quite a bit of force into getting that off. But for me, getting the body off was absolutely easy. I mean, you can see the clips are just here. So I literally just, you know, I've done it with my fingernails. It's literally just put them under and just prise the body a little bit. And the weight of the chassis, it literally just fell out. So I don't think particularly it didn't really need the feature of having to have the roof panel separated. The one thing I will say is I thought at first that this little knock in the panel here, I thought that's where it was. So I'm trying to like pull it up without, you know, causing any damage. But it does run all the way to here. So I will say it is very well put together in that sense that, you know, I can't tell. Now I know where it is. Certainly it is a little bit more obvious. But not to the point that it's detracting from the model at all. So I will say that. But yeah, personally, I don't think it really needed that feature. I think the body removal is one of the easiest things I've ever done. And I don't usually do body removal. I know there's other channels out there that do. But it's not something really I'm fussed about as such. But the main reason I wanted to take it off today, but obviously we may as well have a look. So there is the DCC socket, and as you can see we've got some prongs here, so I imagine that is for the cab lighting, so that's great to see. But yeah, it's a real hefty beast, this, you know. The metal runs all up the side of the locomotive here, so they've really packed some weight into it. Again, I don't normally weigh my locos. Obviously I just go and feel whether it sort of feels heavy or not. But I know obviously I will be getting one of the Acura scales, so I will do a comparison video once they all come out. But the main reason we're here today is for the Cavalex one, and we're here to look at this cab because look at the detail that is in there. That is absolutely fantastic. You get such a better look. You know, we've got the differently painted parts where it's all reds, the door, sort of the seats, the console and all that. It's got the red, it's got the grey. Yeah, it's so fantastic. And yeah, as I say, it's a really hefty beast. So yeah, that's absolutely great. But yeah, I'll get the body put back on now and we'll take it for a first test drive. So let's see how easy it is to fit back together. I just need a bit of persuading. There we go. There we go. I think that's the clips down. Yep, easy as that. So yeah, that's really simple to take apart and put together. Yeah, I'm not normally a fan of the clip method. I would have preferred screws, but yeah, I think that's really easy. It's very similar to the Dapol Class 68. That was a really easy loco to take apart. I did that in my spare time, and yeah, I thought, you know what, actually that really is quite easy. So yeah, quite props to Cavalex for that. But yeah, we'll get it down onto the track, and we'll also see how it runs, and then after that we'll test how easy it is to change the buffer beam, because I'm going to have to do that to put a load onto it, and then we'll take it for its full maiden voyage with a rake of wagons round the layout. Okay, so Class 60 down onto the track, and I think you'll agree with me, it does look absolutely stunning. Main thing we need to test now is the performance. So I will give a disclosure because I get a lot of comments about it. and I think I do tend to say it in most videos, but I'm using the Hornby Select controller from your standard analog train sets. It does tend to make locomotives buzz. It's just something that happens because something to do with the PM count or something like that. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but I know that it is a terrible controller and it does make locomotives buzz. So if this one starts buzzing in quite a loud way, it doesn't reflect Cavalex in any way. Every single locomotive that I have has some kind of buzz. It's just a controller. As I said, I have got a DC-C controller now, so I will be upgrading all my locomotives. It's just going to cost an absolute fortune. So the best way you can support that is by hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. And certainly, we're close to 1,000 subscribers now, so that will support the channel and get me motivated as well to do it all. But yeah, it is going to cost a bit to do so. So for now, we're just sticking with the controller because I'm not buying another analog controller just to, waste my money. So yeah, without further ado, let's give some juice and we'll see the performance. So there we go, we're hearing the buzz. The controller's quite high up actually in saying this, and it's still not moving, but again... Oh, it is moving. With the most horrendous buzz, but yeah, again, that's the controller. That is moving. That is the most incredible thing. I don't even know if... Can you tell this on the camera? Because I can see it in person. It is slowly creeping forwards. That is actually incredible. Give it a little bit more. Obviously, I will say this hasn't been ran in yet. There we go. But yeah, the horrendous buzz has started. Is that on low? Yes, it is on low, that's right. There we go, that's probably why I got so high up the controller. Right. So yeah, this hasn't been running yet, but certainly. Let me try that again once I'm in shot. Get a bit further in. Again, I can only apologise to Cavalex about the buzz. But yeah, here we go again. Let's see if we can get that good crawl. And there we go, it is slowly moving. That is moving. Ignoring the buzzing, because that does sound horrendous, this motor clearly can do wonders. I'm not sure which motor it is, but yeah, this is absolutely incredible. And this hasn't been ran in yet. It does appear to be geared quite slowly, because I'm going to turn this up. This is at like, it's gone out of shot now, but this is at like just over 50% speed. So yeah, it does appear to be quite a slow runner. But again, that's probably down to the fact it hasn't been running as well. So, and it is a freight locomotive as well. So, I'm not expecting super high speeds. But yeah, that is it's an incredible machine. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the locomotive running around the track. We'll give it a full 30 minutes either direction. So after an hour, we'll come back and we'll see if any of the performance has enhanced. I expect it will do, because it does seem a little bit sluggish at the higher speeds. But again, I know the gearing has been tooled for realistic running speeds. So again, I know it's going to be quite a slow mover as such. But yeah, we'll get it going and we'll check back in an hour's time. So bear with me. Okay, so here is running in complete, and yeah, I've got a few little niggles with it. I say niggles. It's not necessarily niggles because it might be supposed to be like this, but it's very slow. And I'm not saying like it's a slow model, but at 50% speed, I'll just have to go a bit further past the camera, but bear with. And don't get me wrong, I know it's a freight loco, but this is 50%. And then you're sort of seeing the number 2 problem, which I will address that in a second. So I'll just do it in the forwards direction because it seems to like going this way better. But this is 50%. It's not like slow, but it's definitely a very sluggish beast. Let's try it again a bit faster. You know, it's it's just a little bit slow. And then this is my next niggle. This is obviously reverse. And I thought at first, I was like, oh god, not another loco that's making such a horrendous noise. But going in the forwards direction, that buzzing has gone. It's just in reverse. Like you can almost hear the gears. It doesn't seem to like going in reverse. Which I'm a little bit concerned about. So I don't know whether to get... Well, I will get in contact with Cavalex about it. Whereas I can only review the models that I have in my possession. Certainly, yeah, that's one thing I found for running out, that the reverse side of things, it did get a bit warm. Not like boiling hot, but certainly here, where the motor is, you can feel the heat coming through the metal. And it's not like hot, but you could certainly feel a bit of heat, whereas I didn't feel that in the forwards direction. It does seem to be a lot more smoother running. So yeah, I don't think I will be doing much like shunting with this. I'll probably keep it just to running in the forwards direction. Yeah, but it's a little bit disappointed in terms of the actual reverse performance. Let's say that. But anyway, let me try that in a crawl. So open the power again. Again, at a slow speed like this is moving. It's absolutely incredible. It's just when, I mean, but this is at 40%. And yeah, I up it to 50 and that's when you hear the grinding noise sort of come in. Which, yeah, it does concern me a little bit. But obviously if I go in the forwards direction, there we go. It is moving, ever so slowly. Certainly I know the buzzing sound is still there. That is obviously just down to the controller, but it's not doing it as bad as it is in the forwards direction. And the crawl's incredible. Like, I mean, we'll be here all day if I wait for it to get across the other side of the controller, but it's absolutely incredible, the slow speed that this loco can do. I'm you know, really quite impressed, to say the least. But I don't know, I just worry about the torque. Like, if I just put my finger in the way and I'll just turn it up. Let's see, can it turn its own wheels? Yep, I'll not do it for too long because I don't want to break it. But yeah, it is turning its own wheels, so it certainly has some power, but I don't know. I wonder whether the motor they've used is just a little bit weak, or maybe it is down to the gearing, because also the centre wheels aren't geared, so the driving wheels are only at the front and rear. So I pointed the wrong ones then, but yeah, the centre one isn't... I'll bring it a bit further. So the centre ones aren't driven, it's just the front and the rear, and that's on both bogies. So yeah, I wonder, maybe it is a torque issue in terms of that, because the gearing is like that, maybe it is suffering with a little bit of lack of power. I don't know, but yeah, drop me down in the comments down below what you think this could be. I'm going to get in touch with Cavalex on this because, again, I've never tried one of their locos. This could be normal performance. It could be that mine is unfortunately faulty, which I'd hate to happen. But, you know, I'd rather know, and I don't want to be, say, calling out a manufacturer for this model is terrible or anything like this when, you know, I get faults happen. They are relatively new, so I don't want to give them any bad press where it's not needed to. So I will sort of get in contact with them and do an update on that at a later date. But yeah, what I'll do now is I'll get the alternate couplings. I'll flip the loco around as well because I thought I was going to use this as the driving end, but it clearly prefers running in this direction, so that's going to be my number 1 end. This is my number 2 end. And then, yeah, we'll get this end hooked up with the NEM coupling and we'll test it with a load, see how it goes, because, yeah, I don't want to injure the loco in any way if it is going to be a faulty one. But yeah, we'll see how the couplings attach. Okay, so as you can see, I've got one of the alternate buffer beams out of the little packet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to replace them. So essentially all you have to do is literally just pull like that. And I pulled one of the buffers off. But yeah, so as you can see, there is the NEM socket down below. And then it is quite easy to literally just slot in just like that. It's got a little bit of a groove as well that sticks into it, but that will allow you to use the NEM pocket. So yeah, as easy as that. And we'll see if we can fix this one. So I don't think I've fully broken it, but more unusual stuff has happened. And am I going to even be able to feel it? There we go. Good as new. So yeah, easy as that, but you know, this gives us a chance to have a better look at the buffer beam, if I can focus. There we go. So yeah, really, really nice buffer beam. I love the pipe work and that it has the chains pre-fitted, but yeah, it's such a fantastic solution. And the buffer's just fallen off again. I might need to glue that back on. But yeah, as you can see, you've got 2 little magnets there. And those little grooves just sit underneath the loco, so it literally just slots in like that. Really, really great solution. But yeah, what I'll do now is I will get this hooked up to a load. Okay, so there we go. So there's the coupling all in place. Now, this is one thing I've noticed. So it is obviously kinematic, but it can get stuck quite easily. It doesn't seem to want to go back into its original position, and it does seem to be catching on the brake pipe as well. So yeah, not really sure how long that's going to last before it causes issues, which is a real shame because other than that, the actual model is quite fantastic. But yeah, there we go, we're on the rails. As a scientific test to see how it goes. But yeah, well, hopefully with a nice heavy load it should be all right. But yeah, I'll get that sorted now. Okay, so we've got the Cavalex Class 60 hooked up to a rake of 6 Freightliner heavy haul limestone hoppers, as well as the Freightliner heavy haul bogie box vans with the sand in it. Thought I'd add those just for a little bit of more realistic running, but I still only have the 2, so yeah, I've added the limestone hoppers just for a little bit of something heavy, just to see what the Class 60 can actually do, because realistically it's not a massive rake, so it should haul these no problem. So up in the power, we'll see if we can get some moving. Yeah, this is at 60% speed at the minute and it's already struggling. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be quite happy. Okay, so people of Cavalex, I have ran this locomotive in. It's had half an hour in each direction, and this is on my DC controller, and it's currently at about 85%. And yeah, as you can see, it's struggling. Obviously, I do YouTube reviews, and I don't really want to slander what clearly does look like a faulty model to me. I just want to know what you guys think, because yeah, that motor is definitely struggling. Other than that, you know, I'm really happy with the model. It's really fantastically looking, but the motor doesn't seem powerful to me. I mean, you might have a different opinion, and this could be normal, but I don't think any Model 1 DC should be running at 85% and it being this slow. I mean, as you can see, the rake that it's got isn't massive. Although these loads are in there, they're not full. It's got a load of light foam underneath it, so it only really covers the top layer. But yeah, you know, it's obviously a good and heavy loco, so it should be able to cope with this no problem. The reason it speeds up in that corner is just because there is a bit of a dip, but the rest of it is all pretty level for as good as I can in the shed. But yeah, I'm not really sure on this at all. Just want to know what your thoughts are, really. I mean, in terms of, like, obviously running, it's not derailed, but yeah, it just doesn't seem happy on curves. And well, in a straight line, really, it slows down a bit, but mainly on curves. This is the third radius circuit. This one here is the second, so there is no second radius on this loop. It's all third radius. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. It doesn't have any oomph, and I've seen examples that seem a little bit better, but as I say, you know, I'm trying to get this video as long as possible for you so that you can see for yourself. But yeah, it seems to slow down on that third radius curve all the way over there. It's unaffected by that point, which, yeah, a little bit tighter in some respects. This is third radius. It's actually a bit wider, I believe, so. And yeah, and then this third radius, but this is all set track. So I've no idea why it seems to slow down. But I'll say that this is on 85% speed. So correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I'll definitely be corrected if it's supposed to be like this. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem right in comparison to other locos that I have. Okay, so obviously, just before we get into the ratings, you've seen obviously the performance of the Cavalex Class 60. And yeah, I will say I was a little bit disappointed finding out that I have got a faulty model. However, I will say that the Cavalex team over on Instagram, that's how I've been sort of communicating my video footage and everything like that, they have been absolutely fantastic. You know, bear with me because I've sort of had to, you know, send messages and then come back out, and sometimes I've been out here late at night, and yeah, it's they've been really probably one of the best customer service I've dealt with. So currently the model is going back as of today, which is the 7th of February. It's not currently gone back yet, but it is booked in to be picked up from my house, and we'll be going back to Key Model World, who are going to sort it out from their end. So hopefully by the end of the month, I should have a working Class 60. But yeah, thought I'd put that out there just to basically say, you know, thank you very much, Cavalex, for all your help, and certainly it's gone back to Key Model World now. And yeah, we'll be awaiting a replacement, and we'll do a proper review and give it a proper score rating. But yeah, I will get into the ratings now, and we'll go through everything that I think it deserves at the moment. Okay, so time for some ratings. So this is for Cavalex's Class 60 Ben Nevis, and this is the Key Model World exclusive. So as I say before we'll get into any of it, this model is clearly faulty and it is going back, so obviously this is just a depiction of the model that I have before me, nothing to do with the full range of Cavalex's Class 60s. So we'll start off with the performance, which I've awarded 2.5 stars. Yeah, it obviously doesn't run properly. It's clearly got something wrong. Cavalex think it is to do with the drivetrain, that either something isn't clipped in properly and therefore it's causing it, one, to make a horrendous buzz. They reckon that although the controller is not the best, it shouldn't be making that sound. And yeah, it clearly should be able to go around curves a little bit better. So yeah, performance-wise, not the brilliant, but yeah, hopefully with the new one that I get, we should hopefully have a better model to review. Detail-wise, I've awarded it 5 stars. I cannot fault this in terms of detail, and I could go on for absolutely ever about it. But, you know, you've seen in the footage before you, the detail is absolutely incredible, down to the minute details. You know, all those sort of pipes and wires around the bogies that really make those bogie frames pop. We've got the horns, we've got the buffer beams, which, yeah, it's absolutely great, that magnetic buffer connector that you can swap out as you wish. You know, the handrails, the grills that you can see, the engine bay inside, the center console that has all the dials and everything that illuminate. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, I cannot fault the detail at all. You know, Cavalex have clearly gone to some immense research into getting each one of these perfect. So yeah, absolutely well deserved 5 stars. And again, the same for the livery. I have gone for one of the more plain livery options available, but I cannot fault it. You know, there is no sort of differentiation between the yellow fronts, the black roof, that orange lining that you get on the top, all the stickers that are all over it just really, really enhance this model to make it such an incredibly well looking model as well as a well detailed model. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So I've awarded that 5 stars as well. Quality wise, I've dropped it to 2.5 stars. I was gonna up it a little bit because of obviously the paint job and the detail, but then I dropped it down again from 3 stars. And my reason for that being, obviously, one, yeah, it's obviously faulty. You know, it doesn't run properly, it slows down. You know, I've been through that in the performance. The thing for me that dropped it down again was the coupling hook and the fact that it sticks when the buffer beam's in place. I think that is a little bit of a bad design as such. I'm not really sure why it's doing it. Apparently there is a simple fix for it that some other YouTubers have found, but for me, out of the box, this shouldn't be happening. It should certainly just be working as it should. Have a really, really good pivot on it, but it should be able to go back to the centre without sticking. So yeah, I don't know in terms of mileage how far I'll get with running this in and, you know, seeing will it cause any derailments, but hopefully that isn't the case. But yeah, I've dropped it down at 0.5 star for that. And then value, 3.5 stars I've awarded it. So this comes in at 194.95. So yeah, quite a expensive model for a DC ready. You know, we're just slightly below the £200 mark, so not quite into Hornby territory. But yeah, I do think it's a little bit on the pricier side compared with this is a £25 difference to a Curascales model that is forthcoming, and that should be coming out in the next couple of months. So unless a Curascales model doesn't have the level of detail, which from looking in person they look very, very similar, yeah, I don't really see the difference in the £25. I don't really get what we're getting with that. But again, I've only seen the Akira scales in a glass cabinet. I haven't seen them in my hands. So yeah, I'll reserve judgment on that. And this may get revised, you know, later on in having a working model. But for now, I'm going to give it a 3.5 star, which I don't think is terrible. Certainly, I think if it was a little bit closer to Akira scales, we could be easily looking at, you know, 4, even a 5 star, because this model is absolutely incredible. And yeah, I am a little bit gutted that mine is faulty, but as I said, you know, at the start of the video, I am absolutely over the moon with the level of service that Cavalex as well as Key Model World have provided. And yeah, it should be getting sorted as soon as possible so that I can have a working model to re-review, and therefore hopefully this will boost this score up, because at the minute the overall rating is 3.7 stars, so just below that 4-star mark. And I think certainly a working model, I reckon we could be looking at least a 4.5 star locomotive here. I definitely think that is on the cards. You know, we'll just have to see once the motor is running properly. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and drop a comment as well. Do you have a Cavalex Class 60? Is yours working properly? And which Cavalex Class 60 did you go for? I'd be really interested to know. As well as, if you wouldn't mind, we're very close to 1,000 subscribers now. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. You will get notified whenever I upload a new video such as this. We have the model railway reviews, so that is for both locomotives and rolling stock, as well as we have the model railway build. Obviously you can see my track is far from complete, so yeah, lots of videos to come in that in the future, as well as we have the how-to series and the train stuff videos, where it's basically just anything rambling about new models that are coming out and so on and so forth. So yeah, absolutely a lot of stuff for everybody to sink their teeth into. So yeah, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. We're so close to that 1,000 mark. So yeah, I'd like to try and get there by the end of the month if we possibly can do, but I need your help to do that. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and I will catch you in the next video. So take care everyone. Bye bye.